What's he unboxing? What'd it be? Well, I don't know. Shut up and see.
So here's a funny little story about Jeff's buying freeze. I told everybody I was doing a buying freeze, which means I'm freezing my buying. I'm not buying any new books. And Levidian came out with this incredible edition of Gone South that I kept salivating over. I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I got to stop. And I was all proud of myself for saving the money and being a responsible adult and saying, all right, I just got to take a pause right now. The very day Levidian sent the private link to the Patreon supporters for Gone South, Chad Lutzke emailed me and said, hey, I know you were asking about Cannibal Creator from Thunderstorm. I just want to let you know, Paul Goblersh only has 3 copies left. The rest are all sold. Email him if you want one, but you did say you wanted one, and he'll hold one for you. And so I so much for my buying freeze, because I had to have that book. You may have seen my review for this book. I read it even though it wasn't signed or limited in any way. Isn't that weird? The words are still in the book. Did you even know that you could read a book that's not signed or limited? Yeah, I didn't know either. But I read this and I loved it. Chad Lutzke's awesome. He's got a definite vibe, unlike any other author I've ever read. A very cool vibe. And unsettling. Like, he lures you in to he gets you on your heels, right? Because you're not expecting some of the stuff that comes along in a Chad Lutzke book, because you're just kind of eased into it. You're like, oh, this has got a River's Edge vibe. It feels like a slacker film. You're just hanging out with some dudes. And then he drops some serious stuff on you, and you're just like, whoa. It's that dissonance, right? The way it bounces against the whole action versus the tone. It gets me every time. He's a great author. And this is kind of different than his other stuff, but no less excellent. And I think he makes jokes. If he once in a while he'll pop in, when he feels like slumming, he'll pop into my live stream on Mondays, and he'll talk about Cannibal Creator as his worst book or whatever. It's awesome. So don't believe Chad about Chad's work. The book was in hand. I saw photos of this book on Chad Lutzke's Instagram, and it looks awesome. But I gotta say, getting this box in the mail, I think I'm being trolled, because this doesn't feel like there's a book in here. I mean, I really don't feel a book in here. This is the lightest book in the world. Apparently, this book is part of the Screaming Cacti set of books. And there's 4 in the set, and then there will be a slipcase for those 4 once they're all done. And I think they're all done. I saw a picture. Somebody showed a picture of 3 of them anyway. And I'm not going to get the other 3. This is the only one I wanted. And I'm just going to ruin someone else's set. That's my goal. Like, I'm just getting this one so somebody else out there will never have a complete set. Very cool. This is a smaller size book than Thunderstorm normally does. And I've never had a Thunderstorm lettered. But I could see why it weighed nothing. It's a tiny little slip of a book. And there it is. Well, if you could read through the bubble wrap, Screaming Cacti. Here it is. Ooh, a Thunderstorm lettered. So this will be very cool for my collection to have. Oh, very cool. Nice. It's got this quarter-bound leather, deep debossing. So there's the Screaming Cacti. Cannibal Creator by Chad Lutzke. Nice yellow. There's the spine so you can see again. No dust jacket, which is what normally happens on a Thunderstorm release. Cool end papers. which is normal for a Thunderstorm release. And then Chad Lutzke, I have letter O of 26 copies. Look at that. Very cool. Letter O. I don't know who did that art. So I don't see the artist's name in here. But apparently there are other stories in this book as well as Cannibal Creator. There's a story, The One Who Took, Sweet Revenge, Cul-de-sac Cannibals. So 3 other stories, 2 of which were only published as Patreon. I didn't know Chad Lutzke had a Patreon. I encourage you to support Chad Lutzke's Patreon. I would tell you to get this book as well, but I don't know if it's all sold out. It seems to be one of the releases. This is the only edition Thunderstorm was putting out. So it wouldn't be a numbered edition or a trade edition. It's only as a lettered, and basically only if you reach out to Paul directly at Thunderstorm Books to see if he has another copy. Now I know Chad Lutzke was telling other people about it, so those other 2 copies may have been gobbled up. But here it is, so you could at least see it, know it exists, and then of course you can get this book right now and enjoy the reading, because again, there are still words and they're functional in here, even though they're not signed and limited like this one. They still work in the same order and everything. They didn't jumble them up. This was such a wild ride. Great book, can't recommend it enough. Go see my review on it. I did a review, so go check that out if you want. And until next time, stay frosty.